and so many others fighting for their lives because of this man plowing through these people. We are talking about the 42-year-old Shamsud-Din Jabbar, U.S.-born citizen, U.S. Army veteran, and was killed by police.
And right now, according to Fox News, the FBI is reporting that they can tell us at this point that this man was an Army veteran, and the FBI believes that he was honorably discharged, and the FBI is working through this process to figure out all this information. He does have a criminal record, and Rashi was telling you a little bit about the criminal record earlier. He was charged with 2 minor crimes in 2002 and 2005, according to documents that Fox News obtained. In 2002, he was charged with misdemeanor theft in Katy, and in 2005 with driving with an invalid license. He has an active voting registration here in Texas, and he previously resided in North Carolina, where in 2012 he lived there.
And sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to say that we are confirming that 15 people have died because of
15 people?
The tragedy that happened.
Wow.
Now we're looking at about 14 hours ago in New Orleans on Bourbon Street, when this guy, 42-year-old Shamsud-Din Jabbar, plowed a truck through dozens and dozens of people. We know many are injured, but unfortunately that toll has risen, and we have confirmed 15 people killed by this guy, Shamsud-Din Jabbar.
And this incident in New Orleans was being investigated as a terrorist attack. It's just now spanning into Houston, as this is apparently this man's home. And again, if you're just joining us, I know that we are getting close to that 5 o'clock hour. We are covering the horrific New Year's Day attack on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. The man who took a rented truck and drove it down there is a resident in Houston. Gunfire was exchanged after he plowed through the crowd with law enforcement. That's where he was killed. And now the investigation begins. And unfortunately, as Rashi just said, the death toll is now at 15 from this very early morning attack amongst people celebrating 2025.
Now, we do know, I mean, there's so many unanswered questions. So if you're just joining us now and thinking, what exactly?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're getting back to the updates. I heard there's a bunch of stuff that happened. I took a little mini nap, so I feel pretty refreshed. But I'm catching up on all the information, and so they're saying attacker held a real estate sales agent license until 2023. When his license expired, according to an online database. In a 2020 YouTube video, which has since been taken down, of course, a man named Shamsud-Din Jabbar introduced himself as a property manager. He said he was born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, a city of more than 100,000 people off Interstate 10. All right, hold on. Let me get a new stream going. I mean, a new feed going. Hold on 1 second.
The Superdome was put on lockdown as well. The teams were stuck in their hotels. When you have such a large event like that, there's plenty of security. A month's time, and they were at the press conference as well. Can you speak to that and just the nature of the security? And are you surprised that they pushed this Sugar Bowl? And maybe are you not surprised by the fact that it's only 24 hours? Could it be pushed even further?
I'm not surprised at all that they pushed it, and I will not be surprised if they unfortunately have to cancel it. I would hate to see that happen. We like to think in our country that, we don't let them win by...
Check this out. Okay, Vocaholic, thank you so much for this. Wow. Hold up. Hold the presses. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this here. Wow. Who's this person? What the? They're saying KPRC, which is a local Texas station, drone is showing man outside of New Orleans attack suspect's Houston home with his hands up. Who's this? What the? Hands up. What is going on here? Hands up. Thank you, Danny, for the 5 memberships. Hope you guys are doing good. Wow, look at this. Look at it. And here's the truck. Wow. Oh my God. I gotta take a screenshot of that. It's better. That's a better image for the thumbnail. Okay. And there's a bunch of different things I was reading. I'm gonna try to get to it. I'm gonna try to get to that in a second here. Who is that? He looks a little flexible too. Flexible.
They do eventually kick off that game, and if they postpone it or move it to a different venue, that could be happening, but they'll have to make that decision somewhat rapidly as well, just based on the college football schedule. I do want to shift gears a little bit because we're talking about the events taking place in New Orleans, but what's going on right now in Houston at this residence of a potential suspect, the identity, and he has been deceased, but Shamsud-Din Jabbar. What's going on in terms of this? What are they looking into at this home? Could it be for the suspect? Could it be for accomplices? What's the orientation of this?
Yeah, it could be any of those. It could be his residence. It could be a person that they believe is linked to him. Obviously, SWAT assets are on scene there. You have heavy armored vehicles with a contingent of local and FBI hostage rescue team, just from looking at the open source images that I've been seeing on the news. So they probably are in the process or have obtained search warrants. They're going to utilize technology that will keep human beings, the law enforcement officers, from having to go in first. So think along the lines of your drone, your robot, the thing that can go in to make sure there's no booby traps, IEDs, things of that nature. They want to absolutely ensure the safety of your law enforcement personnel on scene. And then you want to make sure you have to ensure the safety of the surrounding community. Who are the people who are living around there have to be evacuated out. You have to find those folks a place to go for the time that you're going to be there. And then, of course, ultimately, when you serve a search warrant in the process of conducting a criminal investigation, you have to obtain evidence. You have to find that evidence lawfully. You have to document it, and then you have to make sure it's categorized for the prosecution down the road.
You mentioned some of the encrypted devices, some of the devices, cell phones, and whatnot they're looking for. What other nuggets are they trying to glean from a potential residence in terms of accomplices, in terms of motivation, in terms of anything else? What are they looking for there inside that residence?
Well, everything.
So Grizzly Hood News, is she live outside let's see.
Okay, this is a hair. We had other things going on too besides running over everybody. So
Texas
they have,
resident.
of course, they have to come investigate all this. The FBI is
She's
out
live
here.
out of Texas. Sorry, I got to update
The FBI is out here right now.
Hey, it's a weird speaker.
Hey, friend, ¿cómo estás?
There's a lot of cops out there.
Happy New Year.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, friend. Look at all the people. Look at the drone. There goes the drone. Y'all see it? Oh. Look at the drone. The battleship song is in my head right now when I see the man, look at it.
And boys coming down.
It's fast. Ooh. It zipped. It went pew. Yeah, the block is real hot right now, y'all. Y'all got terrorists. It's worse than anything. Y'all had a terrorist out here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, somebody's pissed. Somebody's screaming. Oh, shit. Somebody started yelling at someone over there. I don't know what's going on. Look at the drone. Somebody says, tell Ikid to give you credit for your video on his live. Well, he could do that. We're cool. Like, I don't think there's any beef or anything. I think he would. I don't think he would.
I always do.
I'm an action person. Like, I like to be on the scenes. I don't really do the sit down thing.
Oh, hell no!
I think he'll shout it out. No beef. Y'all don't start up shit like that too, please. I'm a real chill person. Don't do that.
I'm gonna go in there.
No problems with that man. He's cool people. He's shouted me out before. And even if he don't shout me out, that's all good.
No.
Y'all know where it came from. That's all that matters.
Yeah, okay, let me tell you guys, hold on. Let me tell you guys the funny thing. Let me tell you. First of all, I always shout her out. I literally just live stream and I said her name, but I normally put her link, I put her like I'll type out her name on the screen. Let me go in there real quick. I've never had any problems with this lady. I've covered this for years. People don't understand the history. So these people that dislike me, they sit there and watch me all day long. And then as soon as I open up a link and click somebody's name, they run. Yo, Ikid-Mel! Oh, wait, Ikid-Mel, oh, did you see that? Oh! Yo, literally, these people sit there and they watch every single thing that I do. And then they run. Oh, he's doing this. He's doing that. The heck? Bro. So yeah, I've never had a problem with her, and I always, check out Grizzly, go watch her. Let me just tell her, much love. Much love, always credit and link. I just started. Can somebody clip that too? JB, are you watching? JB, send me the link. Please, send me the link. The clip. We gotta clip it. Because what I was actually doing right now was actually updating the thumbnail, and then I was gonna check out. It's gonna credit her, but people don't understand. They see it and they just like, oh, Ikid-Mel's doing this. Texas is one of my biggest. It's California, then it's Texas, and so some of these people I know. I've never. I don't know. We might have DM'd before, but I've watched her streams. I've always credited. Here's the link. Go check her out. Go follow. I do that with YouTubers. I do that with, streamers. I try to anyway. Maybe not all the time, but I always try to. And so I've credited this lady multiple times. And if she told me, if she said, hey, Ikid-Mel, I don't want you streaming my stream, I would say, you know what? I respect it. No problem. You know what I'm saying? She's on the ground, boots on the ground, in person. I would respect it. But if somebody says, hey, no problem, if you credit me, which she said, and she said, even if you don't, but I'm glad she still she took up for me a bit. You know what I'm saying? She took up for me a bit. But it's just so funny to me that these people are like watching me and they're waiting for the moment.
A lot of people.
They're waiting for the moment that they could be, Ikid-Mel's using your video. And I know probably who's behind that probably, but it's just so weird to me But it's people like, if you don't want to watch me, then don't watch me. But you're sitting around like waiting for the moment, the whole year, waiting for the one moment that you can get in your life to be like, hey, kid Mel. Crazy. Crazy.
Intersection of Hugh Road and Crescent Peak Drive in North Houston. This is right off of TC Jester, right? It says, we have secured a perimeter in the area and are asking people to avoid it. FBI Houston personnel and specialized teams will be on site for several hours. The activity to this morning's New Orleans attack. This activity is related to the New Orleans attack, but due to the ongoing.
All right. Thank you for the 20. Appreciate that, Lisa of Lion. Thank you so much. Appreciate the 20. Her link is in the chat. The description, and I'll put her up on the screen too. And we're gonna bounce around though, because there's still a lot of stuff that I wanted to cover that I haven't gotten to yet. That I saw some weird stuff. Is this guy married? The suspect? Hold on. Hold up. Just get all right. Yeah.
It's wild, friends. It's a wild, wild west out here.
The Grizzlies out there in person.
All right, friend. Be safe. And y'all too, friend. Hey, how y'all doing?
It's so crazy. These people watch me. It's the wildest thing ever, bro. Like I never sat down and watched somebody stream and be like, "Oh, he's streaming! You stream! Oh!" So crazy.
Out there, what was it? What made them choose New Orleans? What made them choose this area?
Why you doing that?
Center Point's out here. Is that Center Point? Is that Center Point, you guys? Hold on.
All right, here's
Can
what I'm
y'all
gonna
see?
do.
Hey, friends. Hey, we got Hood News peeps in the house. Hey, what's up, friend? I see you. I see you. Hey.
All right, so I'm gonna put her on the right side for now because I want to keep going over the updates. And keep her on the right side right now, and I want to go over some of the things that I saw. We keep Grizzly on the right. Okay. Where was the other updates on this whole situation? I'll let her audio play.
There's not really much right now going on that we could see. Not a whole lot of visual stuff. So, So, look, this is Hugh Road.
Hugh Road. Damn.
What's up, friend? Y'all be safe.
Writings found supporting the view that the New Orleans attack was inspired by ISIS, according to CNN. This is in addition to the ISIS flag on the truck. There was some other crazy stuff that I saw. Let's see. He was in the Army on active duty from 2006 to 2015, and then in the Army Reserve from 2015 to 2020. He was a staff sergeant when he separated with an honorable discharge in 2020. He deployed to Afghanistan in 2009. He was an admin clerk. His military specialty was 42 Alpha. Separately, he tried to enlist in the Navy in 2004, but he never actually shipped or began training. From a Navy spokesperson, our records show that Shamsud-Din Jabbar, that's the middle name that I saw for this guy, Bahar, enlisted on August 12th, 2004 in Navy Recruiting District, Houston, and was discharged from the delayed entry program 1 month later. On September 13, 2004, he did not go into recruit training command. The DOB matches because he did not serve in the Navy. There is no additional information to add to the biography. Some other interesting stuff. Let me see here. They're confirming he had an ISIS flag. We know about the IED weapons. There was some other weird shit that I saw. Okay, I want to know about this. This was posted in the Facebook group that I'm in, or Messenger. Federal agents were at the home of the suspect's ex-wife in northern Houston on Wednesday. Outside, her new husband, Dwayne Marsh, said that the suspect had begun to convert to Islam. And within the last year was being all crazy. He said that the suspect had 2 daughters, one a teenager and one a young woman or young adult. Sorry, young adult. So one a teenager and one a young adult, and that they were a mess after the attack. Wow. That's what I want to know a little bit too about this guy's family life. So they're saying he converted to Islam. What the? All right. Hey, what's that? What's going on out there? Oh.
I need more info, y'all. The Hood FBI is working the case.
Uh-oh. Don't mess with them Texas folks, man.
Look at that shit.
They're carrying guns.
The Toxica, they had the Buchona out there.
What?
All right. Hola, ¿qué tal, mi raza? Aquí estamos ahora en la mañana en Nuevo Orleans. Pasó que había un terrorista que atropelló a varias personas.
Yeah, Jeff, I agree with you. That's what I thought was happening. I don't know why my voice thing is not working. It's supposed to read the super chats, but I don't know. Jeff says, looking closely at the flag, it appears upside down. That's what I was thinking too. Any chance he's not real ISIS? Wouldn't it be important to them? I think he's not real ISIS. I didn't think about that though. Wouldn't that be important to them? I don't know. Yeah, is it like improperly holding the flag or something, like masting it? Marilyn Riley, thank you for the 34 months. Happy New Year, Mel. Sending love to you and your beautiful daughter. May 2025 be a great year for you. Thank you. I hope so too. Okay, so I want to find out about this guy's family life.
También está acá.
Maybe I'll update this thumbnail first.
Y están investigando. Tienen que hacerse... tienen que asegurarse que ya no haya peligro en esa traila. Yeah, friend, we're on Hugh Road. Hugh Road.
Hugh Road. There's a lot of large police presence out there.
Now, I don't know if they have found anything yet or what's the process. They've been out here for several hours. Oh, yeah, the Cud crew, that video's staying up, friends. I'm not taking nothing down. I've been asked a few times to take it down. I'm not taking nothing down. Nobody thought about... Don't be mad at me. Be mad at Isaac for posting this shit. Y'all be mad at Isaac, not me. I don't know why do people document and incriminate themselves on their own social media? That's crazy.
Okay, so she's outside the area. There was a live feed that I had out there, but they cut her off. So we're checking out Grizzly's Hood News. Links in the chat description, or she's on Facebook. She's mostly on Facebook.
We're going to have more on this in just a second.
Small. Let's see. I don't know if that's better.
Leaks in their roof, not because of Mother Nature, because of dumb Edgars. No,
oh, shit. She said Edgars? Wow. Okay, so the update.
Let me read something. I want to say it right in Spanish, y'all.
Okay, so they're saying 15 people killed now. The number went up from 10 to 15. The picture of this guy has come out. Let me see if I can find something more. I want to know about this guy's family life. One of the screenshots
as we
of an
are
article,
following this very late.
they're saying this guy converted to Islam.
That's the
recently.
live picture there in New Orleans. But we want to shift gears to the other site of where we're really looking into information, and that is in Houston, Texas. Our Fox 26 team doing a great job there in New Orleans, but also in Houston. We're going to be joined right now by Fox 26's Donnelly Keith at this house in North Houston there where the FBI is looking into it. What can you tell us about what you're seeing, what you're hearing on the ground in southeastern Texas?
Well, Andy, we're told that the man who ran over and killed 15 people there on Bourbon Street in New Orleans actually lived here in Houston, in Northwest Houston. And this is the backside of the home where Shamsud-Din Jabbar is said to have lived here in Northwest Houston. You can see there's a large SWAT vehicle here. Several sheriff's deputies are here. The FBI confirms also FBI agents are here. We were on the road. It's Crescent Peak Drive here in Northwest Harris County. We were on that road, but law enforcement officers came over and said they just didn't know if it was safe, so they moved us off of that road. They asked us to come here. Indeed, they actually blocked off several roads. They have a very large perimeter that's now blocked off as deputies stand in protective gear with long guns, wearing helmets, because they just don't know what they're going to encounter when they go into that home. We know that there were explosives found on Din Jabbar after he was shot and killed, so they're not sure if this home will have explosives inside, and they're not sure if another person is not in there waiting for them. So they spent a lot of time outside the house preparing and gathering before they went inside. Again, this is the back side of the house. They're not allowing us on the other side. And we also know that Din Jabbar says that he's originally from Beaumont, Texas, and that he's lived in Texas his whole life, with the exception of spending 10 years in the military. And he says he traveled around those 10 years as he worked in human resources in the military. He also said that he moved to Houston several years ago and that he was a real estate agent here in Houston. In fact, he says he owned a business up in the over in the Sugarland area, down in the Sugarland area, that side of Houston. And we also know that his real estate license expired back in 2022, 2 years ago. So we're not sure exactly what he's been doing these last 2 years since that real estate license expired. We also know that he rented the vehicle, that white Ford F-150 that he drove down Bourbon Street and ran over all of those people, killing 15 people. We know that he rented that vehicle from the Houston area, from Pasadena, Texas, from a sort of a rideshare app, a rideshare rental app called Turo. And Turo released a statement saying the company is heartbroken that one of their host vehicles was used in such a horrific incident. But the FBI says they will be here on the northwest side of Houston for several hours. We know it's already been about 2 or 3 hours since they've been here. It could be another several hours as they try to go through this house where Din Jabbar is said to have lived here on Houston's northwest side. Andy?
All right, very, very interesting, and I know very fluid, and they're being precautious and cautious for the right reasons based on, like you said, those explosives found on Din Jabbar, but also the accomplices, the associates that might be connected to him in this terrorist attack. We were diving into your Fox 26 coverage from just a little bit ago, and I believe you spoke with a neighbor that potentially saw someone leaving the residence. Can you detail that a little bit for our Live Now audience?
Yeah, I did. I've been in contact with several neighbors who are still inside the neighborhood. They're sheltering in place and staying inside. They said they were asked by deputies to stay inside their homes if they're not going to leave the neighborhood. And so one man I spoke with said that he saw someone come out of a house. He said from his vantage point, he could not tell if it was the house in question, but he saw a man come out of a house and deputies put handcuffs on him and then walked him down Crescent Peak Drive and put him in a patrol car. So we don't know if that man was detained or arrested or questioned, and we don't even know if he came from the house in question because there is so much going on, and we're trying to get answers to all of the questions that have been coming up.
Yeah, so many questions left. I do have to ask you another question about the area in which you are in. For our national audience that isn't familiar with the Houston area, we did get some aerials as well. How much of a residential area is this? What are we looking at in terms of what the neighborhood looks like? Can you describe that for us?
Yeah, this is a residential area, and the street where Din Jabbar's home is said to be located, it's a small road, and it ends with a cul-de-sac. There is a gate at the end of the street, which was open. I'm not sure if the gate actually works. It's been open since we've been here, and we were here before law enforcement arrived, and so that gate has been open. But several residents also say that this is an area where lots of people rent, because there are some homes, and then there are also some RVs, and then trailers. So it's a mixture. There are some small homes and then larger homes, and it appears like several tenants may live in the larger homes. They may be separated into sort of duplexes. But this is and I also spoke with one woman who says she's lived here since 2001, but she says for the most part, many people come and go, and they usually don't live on this road for very long.
All right, very interesting. And then one of my last questions is about the fact that they believe this person is associated with the U.S. Army. Are there any Army bases around there? Is this a normal place for someone associated with the military, in your eyes, to be living? Are they close to any of the bases there in Houston?
There's not a nearby Army base. We are told that he is a former veteran, and one resident is actually shaking her head saying that there is an Army base located just a couple blocks over. She says there is an Army base located just a couple blocks over. But also we know that the FBI says that he was honorably discharged from the Army. So it's been apparently several years since he's been out of the Army, so it would not be abnormal for him to live in regular residential neighborhoods now and not on an Army base. All
right, I just wanted to ask that because that is obviously something that people are obviously really clinging to right now, looking into as well. And I just wanted to get it for our national audience if they're not familiar with the geography or the bases in that area. All right, Dominique, thank you again. Great reporting as always. I know we're going to be diving into our Fox 26 coverage later on tonight as well, but great job. Thank you for joining us here on Live Now.
Thanks, Andy.
Hands up.
Thanks so much. All right, great reporting.
He's about to spread cheeks, man. He better hope that he didn't do anything stupid. So this dude came out with his hands up. Go check it out on KPRC. Somebody was somewhere on that property.
Okay, so they're live outside of this guy's house, right? And a couple of things that have come up now is his like ex-wife, right? Like the ex-wife situation. And they're saying, okay, he's named as a suspect, killed 15 people. Let's see what they say. Court documents show that he was married and divorced twice to a woman named Nakedra Jabbar. Nakedra. Nakedra Jabbar. And Shaneen Jabbar. So he's been married twice, I guess. Married and divorced twice. Okay, so Nakedra Jabbar, Shaneen Jabbar. They tried calling them. They tried to reach out to them by phone and email on Wednesday. Court documents show that his first divorce was finalized in 2013. They show that his gross monthly resources at the time were about $3,990. Okay. And he was ordered to pay $660 in child support. Nakedra Jabbar was granted majority custody. Okay, so 2013 finalizes the divorce. They show his gross monthly resources at the time was $3,990. He was ordered to pay $660 in child support to Nakedra Jabbar, and she was granted majority custody. It's unclear when his second divorce is finalized, though court files show that a restraining order was granted against him in 2020. So the second wife, I guess, got a restraining order granted against him in 2020. The circumstances that prompted the order were unclear, so we're still missing a lot of information. The order forbade Shamsud-Din Jabbar from sending threatening or obscene messages to her or causing bodily injury to her or their child, among a number of other behaviors. All right, let me get a screen for you guys. So she got offline. And let me make this bigger. This is live right now. This feed that you're seeing on the bottom right, I'll make it a little bit bigger. That's live in Texas. There's no audio to it. And so let me just keep giving you these updates because I think this is kind of interesting. Married twice, paying child support, restraining order against him, served in the military. Okay. Let me see if there's any information about the restraining order besides that.
The sun even rose this morning at 3:15 a.m. A white pickup truck drove past the barricaded street with police vehicles ramming into people, killing at least 15, injuring dozens more. And we're learning more information right now about this as the death toll has risen to 15. The New Orleans coroner announced the update in a statement saying, quote, "We are deeply saddened by the tragic event that unfolded in the French Quarter. Our thoughts and heartfelt condolences are with the victims, their families, and everyone affected. As of now, 15 people are deceased." The coroner also noted it would take several days to conduct the autopsies. They also said there in this statement, talking about once we complete the autopsies and talk to the next of kin, we will release the identities of the victims. As we work diligently in coordination with the New Orleans Police Department, FBI, Homeland Security, we remain committed to supporting this community during the tragic time in our city. So we're also monitoring right now potentially an update coming in from the president, Joe Biden. A look right there at the White House here on this day as it was anger and frustration. That was the quote as he was getting off Air Force One. As he was now back at Camp David. We're expecting to hear some comments from him coming up here in just a matter of moments. We're also following out of Houston, Texas. They are looking into the home of this suspect. That was the initial spark to this terrorism attack. So we're following all very closely here on Live Now from Fox, just past 6:30 on the East Coast. Let's take you right now out to our Fox 26 team, Jonathan Mejia, on the ground on Bourbon Street.
24 hours for the game, they worry about those who lost their lives here earlier this morning.
Jonathan, how large, in fact, is the perimeter of where this horrific incident happened last night? Is it still all blocked off? Are investigators still working that scene now, hours and hours later?
Yeah, so this is still an active crime scene, so it is completely blocked off. You have Louisiana state troopers all around this perimeter. We moved, if you were tuned in earlier today to our newscast at the top of the hour, we were at a different location. We were able to move to a different block. We were able to see those lights and active investigators on this scene, but we continue to survey and look around as we want to bring you the best and clear what the situation in this crime scene is looking like. So perimeter has been set up, several law enforcement agencies still on the ground.
All right, Jonathan Mejia, live there in New Orleans. Thank you. Meantime, the FBI says the deadly attack in New Orleans by a man with Houston ties was in fact terrorism.
So joining us to take a closer look is University of Houston political science professor Michael Souls. Thank you so much for being here. Now, one of the main things is the fact that
the terrorist was a recent convert to Islam. That's what I've been hearing everywhere. He recently converted to Islam. What is it about Islam? It's just violence and death and murdering people and by a small ISIS cell. The cell was staying at an Airbnb near New Orleans with 3 men and 1 woman who were planting IEDs. Okay. What? Let me find the source for that.
Maybe one of the most famous examples of this in the United States was the Pulse nightclub shooting that was perpetrated by Omar Martin. He wasn't formally a member of the organization. ISIS didn't recruit him, right? But he swore allegiance to the organization when he perpetrated his attack. And so we would label him or discuss him as being inspired by ISIS, but not actually as a member. Now, some interesting recent data has been collected about arrests of U.S. citizens connected to international terrorist movements, including ISIS and some of its affiliates, like ISIS-K in Afghanistan. These are individuals in the United States who typically leave the country to try to join the organization, or they try to provide some sort of material support. This category is more common, I would say, than the type of person who's more ISIS-inspired in the United States specifically, though. But I think something that's important to keep in mind, right, is terrorism overall is a pretty rare event in a lot of countries, including the United States. And obviously most Americans aren't affiliated or inspired by ISIS. And so I think this is an important context to have. But in terms of which one is more common in the United States, kind of these more direct material ties.
That's interesting that you say it's rare, because when we cover an event like this, it just feels so close to home, like it could just happen anywhere. And with the Hamas and Israel war going on, we do know that the FBI has heightened the risk of terrorist attacks internationally and here in the U.S. So with what we've seen today and the event that we'll ask you about in a second that happened in Las Vegas, being acts of terror, how big of a risk is the United States at right now when it comes to these types of terrorist attacks?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say that it is a relatively small risk, a very small risk for almost all Americans, or for the average Americans. That's not to say it's not terrifying or scary. It is.
New surveillance video shows the New Orleans attacker flying down. Wow. Okay, you guys got to see this. I can show you this video. Flying down Bourbon Street. Check this out. Raw Alerts just posted this. This guy, holy crap. Let me minimize this. All right, and okay. Wow. Yo, this lady just narrowly got out of the way. And there you can see the flag too. The pole. You can't really see the flag much because it's blurry, but you see the pole that the flag was on. So dude was on a mission. And the timestamp on that is 3:12 a.m. Wow.
Low probability that any of us in the United States dies in a terrorist attack.
I know that's more of an overview, but just looking at the situation right now, we know what happened in Las Vegas outside of the Trump Hotel with the Cybertruck exploding. We don't know if there's a link with what's going on now, and we're also seeing if there's more accomplices with the 42-year-old who was killed. So what is the probability of the extent of what was carried out earlier this morning?
It's hard to say. I wouldn't want to give too, committal of an answer on that. I'm not as a cop-out, right? But I think it can be difficult to know sometimes what incidents are connected. It's very possible that it is, but it's possible that they're two unrelated acts of political violence, or that the kind of car exploding outside of Trump Tower is unrelated to political violence at all. It could be. Obviously, we've seen, obviously prominent.
Thank you for the 20. Kathy, appreciate that. Says great coverage. Paul K, thank you for the 5. Says here from Oz. What's in the water over there? This is crazy, right? Wow. That whole thing too with the Cybertruck. There's information coming out about that. There was a presser. It's like a few minutes long. Let me see if I can send it to myself. We'll check it out. They're gonna do an update tonight. Actually, it's 20 minutes, 7 p.m. Eastern. They're gonna do a press conference, I think, on the Cybertruck situation, the explosives. And I think it's being looked into as a criminal act. It wasn't that this thing just blew up. It's like people seem to be involved in that. So let me see if I can. I'll send it to myself.
As they're detailing what's going on in New Orleans, at least 15 people killed in this terrorism attack there, but also in the Houston area where they're looking into the residence of this individual as well. So just this live picture outside of that home. We were just speaking with Fox 26's Dominique Keith, who's there speaking with neighbors as well. It's close to a military base. We do know the background of the initial suspect that has been.
What the hell? Okay, and thank you, the Kraken. Thank you for sending me this. So Elon Musk just posted. I don't know what's going on. 2020, let's just say 5 is starting out really crazy. Elon Musk says he just posted this I don't know, an hour ago or recently, appears likely to be an act of terrorism. Both the Cybertruck and F-150 bomb in New Orleans were rented from Turo. Perhaps they're linked in some way. He's saying perhaps.
These are the Cybertruck parked outside the Las Vegas Trump property, went viral, sort of, I think people thought it was an accident and then no one was hurt. And so there was a sort of bizarre symbolism and that it was a Cybertruck, it was out Trump. As it's developed, it seems that this is being taken far more seriously. What have we learned about what authorities know and how they're investigating this?
The only thing with the Cybertruck, to me, from what I saw, the video that we watched earlier, it looked like firecrackers. Like somebody, I don't know, loaded a bunch of firecrackers into the Cybertruck and did this outside of Trump's, was it his hotel? One of the hotels or something?
Right.
Which could be considered still an act of terrorism, but I don't know that it's related. Somebody running over, killing 15 people, ISIS flag, radicalized, whatever, the bits that we know, versus somebody loading up a bunch of firecrackers. That could have hurt somebody, because that thing did explode.
Right, Chris. So according to the reporting of myself, my colleagues Andrew Blankstein and Kelly O'Donnell,
the position of the truck, yeah.
Right now, 3 senior U.S. law enforcement officials say that this explosion of a Tesla Cybertruck, kind of in the portico there where you saw that smoke rising from in front of Trump's property in Las Vegas, is being investigated, at least initially, as a potential act of terrorism.
Really?
And that it was, quote, intentional. And there was a...
Let's talk about...
Okay, so this was the presser from earlier. I haven't watched it yet. It's only 4 minutes. It's really short, 4 or 5 minutes. Let's check that out. But somebody tagged me on Twitter saying that they're going to do an update at 7 p.m. Eastern. I thought I'm going to try to find that.
More information on what we are finding out in this investigation. But obviously, a Cybertruck, the Trump Hotel, there's lots of questions that we have to answer as we move forward. With that, I will tell you that our entire law enforcement, first responder community is here and present and working on all of the issues that we have here, one of which is the FBI. I'm going to turn that over to ASAC, Jeremy Schwartz, to give a couple of comments. And then immediately after that, Deputy Chief Tommy Touchstone from the Clark County Fire Department to give you a couple updates as well.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jeremy Schwartz, currently the acting special agent in charge for the FBI here in Las Vegas. First and foremost, I just want to say, our hearts and prayers go out to the community. Even though there's only one deceased victim at this time, something like this happens in a city, and it happens.
Whoa! Oh, wait. So there's a deceased victim from the Cybertruck thing? The person that was inside, or
the community,
or somebody inside?
Even though there's only one deceased victim at this time, something like this happens in a city, and it has an effect on our people here in the community. So we recognize that, and we're here to do everything that we can to support this investigation, to jump on board with our Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department partners, which we've already done. I know you're looking for a lot of answers, and ideally right now we just don't have a lot of answers. We're going to continue to work as hard as we can over the next 24 to 48 hours to hopefully get more to you. But this time we've got a lot of questions and deploying resources, and we will continue to do that until we get to the end of this and figure out exactly what happened and why. Thank you.
Good morning. Thomas Touchstone, Deputy Fire Chief with the Clark County Fire Department. The Clark County Fire Department responded this morning, along with Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and Las Vegas Fire and Rescue.
We had a response
time of approximately 4 minutes. Engine 12 arrived first on pulling tack lines to extinguish the vehicle fire, and also realized at the same time that there were multiple persons with injuries located around the vehicle. In total, as the sheriff said, there were 7 minor injuries, 2 of which were transported to UMC, again for minor injuries. And there is 1 fatality within the Cybertruck. CCFD is remaining on scene in coordination with Las Vegas Fire and Rescue.
Wow.
Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department to continue to render the scene safe, to make sure that the Cybertruck is fully extinguished as it is now, and then also to recover the victim from the vehicle. And we'll remain on scene assisting Metro as long as possible. That's all I have. Thank you.
I would also just like to add, I'd like the community to please stay away from the area for right now, because we don't know what we don't. Resort partners, as you can imagine, we have had to evacuate the hotel. The vast majority of the people that were staying in the hotel have moved over to the resorts world. I'd like to thank them for their graciousness in hosting these individuals that are also victims in this as well. We'll have another, we'll let you know when the next press conference is going to be with a whole lot more information for you. But until then, I just remind the community we believe everything is safe now. Thank you very much.
So that's really, really weird. So there was somebody sitting inside of the Cybertruck when that thing blew up. Holy moly. Well, who was inside? Who was inside of the Cybertruck? Driver deceased and 7 bystanders injured.
Copy.
Very weird, very weird.
Said he would be hesitant to believe that those two are connected at this point based on the information that
Okay, they're talking about the Cybertruck and
some want to point to that. Even an expert that we had here on our air said he would be hesitant to believe that those two are connected at this point based on the information that we have at this point. As one person has died, 7 others were injured Wednesday when a Tesla Cybertruck that appeared to be carrying fireworks caught fire and exploded outside President-elect Donald Trump's Las Vegas hotel. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police and Clark County Fire Department officials told a news conference that a person died inside of this pickup truck and they were working to get the body out. 7 people nearby had minor injuries and several were taken to a hospital. You can see plenty of law enforcement on hand on what transpired.
Very weird. The Cybertruck that exploded at the Trump International Hotel was rigged with a detonation system controlled by the driver. What? The Cybertruck exploded at the Trump International Hotel was rigged with a detonation system controlled by the driver. So he blew himself up? What are they saying? According to CNN, the Cybertruck that exploded outside of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas early this afternoon was rigged with a sophisticated detonation system. Authorities are investigating the incident as a potential act of terrorism. Sources revealed that the vehicle was packed with a dangerous combination of explosives, including fireworks, gas tanks, and camping fuel, all intricately connected to a detonation mechanism believed to have been controlled by the driver. Okay, what's this here? Oh, here it is. This is the
Clark
presser.
County Fire Department responded this morning, along with Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and Las Vegas Fire and Rescue. We had a response time of approximately 4 minutes. Engine 12 arrived first on scene for the fire department to find a fully involved Tesla Cybertruck in the valet. They quickly began pulling tack lines to extinguish the vehicle fire and also realized at the same time that there were multiple persons with injuries located around the vehicle. In total, as the sheriff said, there were 7 minor injuries, 2 of which were transported to UMC, again for minor injuries, and there is 1 fatality within the Cybertruck. CCFD's remaining on scene in coordination with Las Vegas Fire and Rescue and Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department to continue to render the scene safe, to make sure that the Cybertruck is fully extinguished as it is now, and then also to recover the victim from the vehicle. And we'll remain on scene assisting Metro.
Yeah, you're right. That is a replay. The actual new one is coming up over here. Okay, my bad. This is the one that's coming up. Okay, so we'll wait. They're about to start a press conference on this. All right. So we'll wait. So they're still outside of this guy's house. We got the Cybertruck press conference coming up. A lot of crazy shit happening, man. I can't even keep up. Wow. So there's people. So I guess Alan was saying this guy was a unaliving bomber, I guess. This guy offed himself and didn't succeed, I guess. That there's his mission in life. I don't know. I'm obsessed with these people. And somebody said the truck saved the building. I don't know. I wonder if the materials that truck is made out of, the Cybertruck, maybe it protected the people outside. I mean, that thing blew up, but maybe it helped. Maybe it caused less harm versus another vehicle. Maybe if it was a Toyota outside of there, a Honda Civic, maybe more people would have been injured. And what's interesting, so both of these vehicles, so the F-150 and the Cybertruck, were rented off of Turo. Ain't nothing wrong with the Honda Civic. I had a Honda Accord, and that thing was a rebuilt, like a rebuilt title. That shit held me down for years. Bought it cash. I didn't have to pay any money. I miss having no monthly payment. The Honda Accord held me down. So yeah, both of these vehicles rented off of Turo. We have confirmed that the explosive was caused by very large fireworks and/or a bomb carried in the bed of the rented Cybertruck.
It's supposed to be 10. It's 6 right now. I'm watching it drive.
Both electric too. Kara, I didn't think about that. Good point. Both electric cars. It was that F-150 Lightning. Both electric cars. You know. Both mindfully conscious, environmentally conscious people murdering people, caring about the environment, but also murdering people. I don't know if that's really what it was, but it's interesting. Maybe they're just trying to send a message. I don't know what that means. Honestly, it's kind of weird. Up like Donald Trump. Let me see what else. Any other updates on Shamsud-Jabbar? The feds came out there. I mean, they had SWAT and everything outside of his house. So the picture over here on the left that I have, that's live. Because they were saying they don't know if this guy had explosives inside of his house or anything. So they came, you know, being very cautious. Married twice. Custody battle. Paying child support.
The Cybertruck is notoriously weak. It rusts super easily. It gets stuck in a foot of snow. The panels can be peeled off by a grandma with rheumatoid arthritis. Terrible investment.
The one time the voice works today is for Tiggledit. Damn. I have seen some videos of people kind of tearing it apart. But I've also seen it taking shots. So I don't know. But they've been getting some criticism. I have heard about the rust. Issues with the battery sometimes. People across from me, they're sus too. You put on some watch list. Many people keep coming in and out of the house. Damn, there's like a gang of people there. Well, I guess maybe it's family visiting. I don't know how many people can fit in one apartment. All right. Just checking my DMs. A lot of people have sent me stuff. Are you getting the sense that there is any threat of any other potential attacks? I can't answer that. I can, but I won't. Uh-oh. What does that mean? I can, but I won't. I can tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Just a final question here for not just people in Louisiana that are watching, but people coast to coast that are watching tonight. Are you getting the sense that there's any threat of any other potential attacks tonight on any other major cities?
I can't answer that. I can, but I won't.
Is New Orleans safe tonight?
Yes, but we're still in the process of tightening up security. We're still in the process of doing everything that we possibly can. The governor's called out the National Guard. We've got more FBI coming. We've got Homeland Security people. We've got state troopers who've done an awesome job. We've got the NOPD. We're doing everything we can. But like I say, there's a lot of information out there. Some of it's accurate.
Okay.
Tiff, thank you for the membership. Southern Gale, thank you for the 8 months. Says this has nothing to do with who the president is. These attacks are against the USA. ISIS stunting. And it looks like they're going to give us a video presentation too for the press conference. Guys wanted to make an impression for the new year. Maybe they're trying to ISIS and whatever else. They're trying to let us know, set the tone for what's to come for 2025. Wow. Okay, Marla, thank you. So I'll just read this article here. Bomb materials found in the Airbnb. So remember we talked about this earlier today, that the Airbnb this guy was staying in was on fire. There's an article that I was tagged in that says the investigation began after a small fire broke out around 5:30 a.m. So this is after the attack with the F-150. This is after this guy is shot dead. A fire breaks out in the Airbnb. Fire officials evacuated nearby homes and called in the ATF, which deployed bomb-sniffing dogs to the scene. Sources confirm with Fox 8 that bomb-making materials were found in the residence. Okay. Residents in the neighborhood were stunned by the sudden influx of law enforcement. They said that they found a bomb-making material in the yellow house and wanted the bomb squad to look over it, said a neighbor. Okay. One of the neighbors said, we're going to get the hell out of here. It's absolutely insanity. I think it's crazy. People are frustrated. Their mind is gone, and they want to take it out on innocent people. A 3-block area surrounding the Airbnb and Mandeville Street was closed off as investigators continue to collect evidence. Okay. Thank you for that article. What are they doing here? I don't know what they're doing here. I'll make this smaller in the meantime. So we're waiting on the press conference. There's going to be a press conference on the Cybertruck situation. Oh, is that Biden talking? Mr. Biden.
Whether there is any continuing threat to public safety. Here's what we know so far.
Okay.
The FBI has reported to me the killer was an American citizen, born in Texas. He served in the United States Army on active duty for many years. He also served in the Army Reserve until a few years ago. The FBI also reported to me that mere hours before the attack, he posted videos on social media indicating that he was inspired by ISIS, expressing a desire to kill. The ISIS flag was found in his vehicle, which he rented to conduct this attack. Possible explosives were found in the vehicle as well, and more explosives were found nearby. The situation is very fluid, and the investigation has a preliminary stage. And the fact is that right now, there you go. The law enforcement and intelligence community are continuing to look for any connections, associations, or co-conspirators. We have nothing additional to report at this time. The investigation is continuing to be active, and no one should jump to conclusions. I've directed my Attorney General, the FBI Director, the Secretary of Homeland Security, the head of the National Counterterrorism Center, and the intelligence community to work on this intensively until we have a full and complete information. And once we have that information, I will share that information as soon as we can confirm it. Additionally, we're tracking the explosion of a cyber truck outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Law enforcement and the intelligence community are investigating this as well, including whether there's any possible connection with the attack in New Orleans. Thus far, there's nothing to report on that score at this time. I've directed my team to make sure every resource is made available to federal, state, and local law enforcement to complete the investigation in New Orleans quickly and to make sure there's no remaining threat to the American people. And we'll support the people of New Orleans as they begin the hard work of healing. New Orleans is a place unlike any other place in the world. It's a city full of charm and joy. So many people around the world love New Orleans because of its history, its culture, and above all, its people. So I know, while this person committed a terrible assault on the city, the spirit of our New Orleans will never, never, never be defeated. It always will shine forth. We've seen that time and time again throughout its history, and I know we'll see it again in the days and weeks ahead. May God bless the people of New Orleans. May God bless our police and our first responders. May God protect our troops, and we'll keep you fully, contemporaneously informed. Thank you.
Have you spoken to President Trump? Are you concerned about more attacks? Have you spoken to President Trump? Investigated as a terror attack?
All right, you're just listening in there to President Biden making some quick remarks, some questions there that he did not answer.
All right.
Pertinent to some of these investigations in both New Orleans and Las Vegas, asking President Biden if it was a terrorist attack in Las Vegas. He did not respond to that. Of course, we are following it very, very closely. We're expecting to hear an update from Las Vegas at any moment now as well. But we're still continuing to track what's going on in New Orleans as the death toll has risen now to 15 people. You heard there from Biden, not a ton of information that we did not already know at this point, although he was saying that this suspect posted videos on social media mere hours before the attack, saying they were inspired by ISIS. He also reiterated that the suspect was born in the United States and spent time in the United States. Let's continue on.
All right. So, surprisingly, breaking news from Biden, because Biden said that this guy posted videos. Wait, I'm not muted, right? Yeah, posted videos a couple hours before the attack to social media. So I haven't seen that at all. Those videos. I'm curious if they'll release it at some point. And we're still waiting on this press conference because of this bizarre Cybertruck incident. This weird Cybertruck incident where the person inside is deceased. I guess he blew himself up. And not only did he just use a bomb, it seems like, but he also had fireworks. This shit was popping fireworks. Like, what the hell was up with that? Chat is going 100 miles an hour. I can slow it down a bit. I can add a little slow. Okay, they're a little delayed with the pressure. I can add a little slow if it's too fast. Hold on. I'll try this, just a little, tiny little. Got myself a little Celsius. I don't know if it's too late in the day for caffeine, but oh well. Take a little nap. Yeah, and the Cybertruck and the F-150 are rented at the same place. That's odd. Interesting. Weird. And if you missed it, I mean, I covered this already, but if you missed it, there was an arrest made. Man apparently taken into custody in Houston, Texas in connection with the terrorist attack to New Orleans. Local reporters say a SWAT unit brought several people, including children, out of a home. Okay? The FBI believes that the 42-year-old Shamsud did not act alone. So a lot of people were saying this earlier today. They, think this guy was working with people. And And they're saying now he made a series of recordings before the attack, which is being reviewed by investigators. So this is the video earlier. This person being arrested. Homeboy's just chilling at the house. I guess this video is done, right? This lady can't be holding still like this all this time. Let's see what's up with that. Oh, there we go. Now it's updated, I guess. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Oh, maybe it's over. It's like stuck there. So that was the arrest earlier. Waiting on the presser. It looks like they're going to give us a video presentation during this press conference. Oh, they're getting ready. Okay, getting ready to start. So we'll check this out now.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Kevin McMahill. I'm the sheriff of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. I'm here to give you really a brief update on what occurred on Las Vegas Boulevard this morning. As you know, we just had our New Year's Eve event where we successfully protected the city, where over 400,000 people were here last night. And that changed this morning at about 8:40 when a 2024 Tesla Cybertruck pulled into the area valet of the Trump International Hotel. Very quickly thereafter that, the driver, who was the sole occupant of the truck, we saw what looked like maybe some sort of smoke, and then the truck exploded. Smoke was coming from inside of the truck after we noticed the flash and the explosion, and I'm going to show you that first video. That's the Cybertruck parked right in front of the doors. Can you play that again, Carlos?
Wow. Yeah. It's weird.
So the individual that was in that truck is obviously deceased, still in the truck as we speak here today. Our fire department folks, Engine 12, a number of others, you'll hear from one of the fire chiefs here in just a moment, arrived very quickly along with my officers. And obviously we knew that we had a much larger event than just a vehicle fire. And so there's going to be a drone video that plays to my left again. You'll see as the fire initially, they covered it with the tarp to try to get it to go out. Once the fire went out through the suppression efforts of the fire department, you'll see some of the evidence in the back of the vehicle.
Damn. Wow.
So those are gasoline canisters. They are camp fuel canisters and large firework mortars.
Mortars.
What I also would like you to pay attention to on that video, as you see that, it looks like the exterior of that truck is completely intact as it sits there. The fact that this was a Cybertruck really limited the damage that occurred inside of the valet.
There you go.
Because it had most of the blast go up through the truck and out. In fact, if you look on that video, you'll see that the front glass doors at the Trump Hotel were not even broken by that blast, which they were parked directly in front of. You can see that in the video.
This is a great advertisement, I guess. This is kind of weird. The hell? Actually, the structural...
What I will update, I'm very well aware that there's a name already been reported out into the media. I am not going to confirm any names to you as I sit here today.
I want to know the name.
Because I cannot do that with 100% certainty of who the individual is. What I can tell you is we do know the truck was rented in Colorado. We were able to trace that truck through the Tesla charging stations, and it arrived here in Las Vegas this morning at about 7:30 and went up and down Las Vegas Boulevard before immediately pulling into the Trump Towers. Unfortunately, there were 7 people that reported injuries during this incident. All of them still remain as minor injuries and were treated at UMC. I would like to thank the Resorts World because, as you know, we had to close down the Trump and evacuate it, as well as the Fashion Show Mall. And the Resorts World was very gracious in taking those hundreds of individuals in over there, housing them and feeding them prior to us being able to completely clear the hotel. The hotel and fashion show are back open for business. The Trump will remain closed as we continue this lengthy investigation as we move forward. I'm going to yield now to Chief Billy Samuels, but I'd like you to also recognize all of our exceptional elected officials that have come to support the police and the fire department and this community in remaining safe. There is no further threat to the community as I sit here today, and I just want to make sure that our community understands we believe this to be an isolated incident, and it is now over as far as the danger. So, Billy?
Bizarre, dude. I don't even know what to say.
Thank you, Sheriff. I'm going to reiterate some of the stuff that the Sheriff has spoken upon. Engine 12 did arrive within 4 minutes of dispatch, did extinguish the fire with assistance from the sprinkler systems, and along with that electric vehicle blanket that we use on those operations. We did encounter 7 victims, all stable. 2 of them were transported to UMC, who have since been released. They were transported by community ambulance. A total of 13 units from Clark County Fire with 26 personnel, and then 4 units and 17 personnel from Las Vegas Fire and Rescue assisted with this operation. We always do appreciate the support that we get from our hotel partners, as the Sheriff was mentioning with Resorts World. RTC did lend us 10 buses so we can refuge the people that were evacuated from the Trump Tower. Community Ambulance for their transportation for us, Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, and Nevada Division of Emergency Management. And we do appreciate their support, so we can't do that without them. And like the Sheriff said, last night was a huge success, but we are prepared for whatever comes our way. So thank you for that. And I will turn this over to Special Agent in Charge, Jeremy Schwartz.
Good afternoon.
Oh, God. I hope that's not me. Oh, it's not me.
My name is Jeremy Schwartz, and currently stands that the task force is comprised of law enforcement officials from the entire valley here. We're not doing anything alone, and we wouldn't do anything alone without our partners making sure that we're all in lockstep. We've learned from mistakes in the past, and we're not going to do that again. We have a great relationship with our law enforcement partners, and we're going to continue to do so. As of right now, our number one goal is to ensure that we have the proper identification of the subject involved in this incident. Following that, our second objective is to determine whether this was an act of terrorism or not. I know everybody's interested in that word and trying to see if we can say, hey, this is a terrorist attack. That is our goal, and that's what we're trying to do. We have a ton of resources dedicated to this right now, and again, we're doing it with our partners. We're doing it together, jointly, and we'll continue to do so until we figure out exactly what's going on. I think most importantly, as the Sheriff already mentioned, we believe this is an isolated incident. We do not believe that there's a bunch of folks out there supporting this or helping this, and we don't believe that there's any other danger to the community right now. But again, over the next few hours and days, we will continue to do our best to research that as much as we can and get to the bottom of this, and we won't stop until we're 100% certain as to what happened and why. Thank you.
So I just want to clarify again so that I don't get these questions. We do know who rented the truck. We are looking at that individual, but I am not prepared to release the name of any of the individuals that we are looking at least until next of kin is notified and we have a 100% identification. So with that, I'll take any questions you might have.
Do you think it's a coincidence?
I can't see.
Dana Gentry.
Hi, Dana.
Do you think it's a coincidence that there were these kinds of incidents on the same day, basically, in 2 tourism capitals?
Do I think it's a coincidence? I don't know, but what I can tell you is we're absolutely investigating any connectivity to what happened in New Orleans, as well as other attacks that have been occurring around the world. We're not ruling anything out yet, Dana.
Sure. Is there any possibility that this had a link to ISIS? There have been suggestions that the New Orleans attack might have.
Yeah, so the question is there any links to ISIS? And I will tell you that we don't have any indication of that here in Las Vegas, no overt ISIS flag as was seen in New Orleans. But again, we are investigating every aspect of this, and if that comes to light, we'll certainly update you. I'm sorry, sir.
What was the time between the truck's arrival and the explosion?
About 1 hour was the amount of time between the arrival of the truck here in Las Vegas, or at least our first notification of the arrival and the explosion that occurred at the tower.
How long was it in the porte-cochere before the explosion?
It was only there for about, it was sitting in the porte-cochere for about 15 seconds before it exploded. Was that 15? Where'd Dory go? 15 to 20, yeah. The 15 to 20 seconds, I just want to make sure I gave you the right info.
Do you find the connection of the Elon Musk, Tesla, Donald Trump connection to be interesting from an investigative perspective?
Well, I mean, it's a Tesla truck, and we know that Elon Musk is working with President-elect Trump, and it's the Trump Tower, so there's obviously things to be concerned about there, and that's something we continue to look at.
Do you think you need to re-examine security procedures at hotels?
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked that question. Do we need to re-examine security procedures? We were very successful in the night before. I'm surprised this happened, to be quite frank with you, and that's certainly something we're going to have to look at in target hardening, what that looks like. But to your question, Dana, I did forget to mention that I have authorized what we call an ABX roster to continue for the next 2 days, which is my New Year's Eve staffing plan of over 1,000 officers, both in our community neighborhoods as well as on the Strip and downtown, in partnership with all of the other law enforcement agencies, City of Las Vegas Marshals, North Las Vegas, Henderson, just to ensure that even if we had a copycat or somebody else wanted to go up and conduct an attack, that we have the appropriate and available resources to handle it.
Have you all found any devices inside the Cybertruck that could have been used to set off those explosives?
No, the question is, did we find any devices that would be used to set off the explosives? And the answer is no, I don't know how they were ignited. Clearly, with what you see in there, something set them off, but I don't know what it was yet. We haven't been able to process the vehicle yet.
Has LVMPD been in contact with Tesla Cone to get the analytics from the vehicle, cameras?
Yes, actually, I have to thank Elon Musk specifically. He gave us quite a bit of additional information in regards to how the vehicle was locked after it exploded due to the force of the nature of the force from the explosion, as well as being able to capture all of the video from the Tesla charging stations across the country, and he sent that directly to us. So I appreciate his help on that. I'll take one more question.
Elon Musk is claiming that this vehicle...
I'm sorry, you got to speak up for me.
Elon Musk is saying this vehicle and the vehicle in New Orleans were rented from the same company. Has there been any other indication that these two events might be associated?
It's another. The question is both vehicles, I'm being told New Orleans was rented from Toro and so was ours. That's another coincidence that absolutely is continuing to bear from our investigation that we have to continue to look into. So thank you very much, and as we get additional information for all of you, I'm sorry, I'll give you a chat.
Are investigators using any of the city license plate readers to see where they're...
That's the question is, are we using the license plate readers and the technology? Well, one, you see the drone flight through the vehicle because it was unsafe to get there, so that we're using that technology. Thankful to have it, as well as the first indication of that vehicle arriving here in Las Vegas came from a license plate reader. So technology has been very useful to us in resolving this. And again, I'll commit to come back to you all. When we have confirmation of the suspect's name, who they are, what their background is, we will get that information back out to you. We'll call another press conference and provide it. And I'd just like to, again, thank the mayor, the commissioners, the other law enforcement leaders, and of course our Attorney General for showing up and supporting us in this event. It's been a statewide effort, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Man, that lady looked like Nancy Pelosi. I thought Nancy was there for a second. I'm like, what the hell is Nancy doing there? Bruh. Thank you, Elon. So that's really, really weird. No, I don't think Elon would be behind it. I don't, but it is really weird. I was tagged in this as well. Another picture of this terrorist. Reportedly, the scumbag ISIS terrorist who carried out the attack in New Orleans. So, not only are they saying that this guy was radicalized, but I almost wonder if he was always like this. But somebody claimed a couple months ago or a month ago, or whatever, he became radicalized. I'm just gonna kill people. Not only that, there was a post that somebody tagged me. Let me see if I can find it.
Remember when Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law died in a Cybertruck, who was a billionaire? Angela Chow.
Mitch McConnell. I didn't know that actually happened. Mitch McConnell. I know Mitch McConnell. I see him all the time, but I didn't know, on the videos and the news, but I didn't know his sister-in-law died in a Cybertruck, who was a billionaire. How did she die? I'm going to have to check that out. Damn, they said President Biden slurs through speech. Nah.
Here's what we know so far. The FBI has reported to me The killer was an American citizen, born in Texas. He served in the United States Army on active duty for many years.
A little bit.
He also served in the Army Reserve until a few years ago.
So they tagged me in something that was, oh, thank you. Okay, it's too much. There's so much going on. I tagged you in his official post. For the record, Your Honor. Okay, so let me see. Let me check out these tweets. Mentions. I don't see it for some reason. Let me scroll down. Oh, here it is. I see it. Okay, I see it now. Thank you. Okay, so Elon Musk tweeted out, "We have not confirmed that the explosion was caused by a very large fireworks and or bomb carried in the bed of the rented truck and is unrelated to the vehicle itself." Okay, because in the conference, they were trying to say, it almost sounded like they were saying the integrity and the structural, composition of this vehicle actually prevented damage. Maybe more people would have been hurt. Maybe people would have been killed besides the driver. The windows of the front of this place was not impacted. But Musk here is saying that it had nothing to do. Cybertruck and is unrelated to the vehicle itself. All vehicle telemetry was positive at the time of the explosion. The whole Tesla senior team is investigating this matter right now. We'll post more information as soon as we learn anything. We've never seen anything like this. Wow. And there was also a report that this guy, let me see who tagged me in this, because this was kind of crazy too. This was crazy. They were saying, here it is. Thank you, Heart of God. Get this. They're saying that the suspect in New Orleans terror attack made a series of videos, but you know that. In the videos, though, they say the suspect says he first planned to gather his family with the intention of killing them, but then decided to join ISIS instead. So this dude was going to wipe out his family. In the videos, the suspect says he first planned to gather his family with the intention of killing them. Now, I don't know if this dude lost his mind when he lost the custody battle, and the was it the first wife or the second wife? I think it was the first wife. She got majority custody, and they put his ass on child support. And then got divorced with the second wife, and the second woman, put a restraining order on his crazy ass. And so he's like, you know what? Somehow he thought about gathering these people and killing all of them. But he said, you know what? Let me join ISIS instead. And this dude goes and kills all these people. This guy said, I would personally just pick up a hobby, like a normal person. Go work out, hit the gym, find some type of something else to pick up your interests, Instead, this guy said, let me join ISIS. Okay. Wow.
Last couple years, don't do it. Don't have any more of these fireworks shows until we can all come to terms with what the risk is. So pause, please. In addition to that amnesty, actions have to be taken, like the mayor said. And this can't just be legislated, though. I want everyone to know.
Fireworks explosion in Hawaii kills 3. Wow. There was another thing, somebody tagged me in some other fireworks situation. It wasn't Hawaii. Earlier today, I don't even know where it's at because I've had so many messages today, but there was some other fireworks show, I think, where they said 2 people were dead. It's gone beyond just, let's have some fun and like a little light show, a couple little things when we were kids. These people are literally igniting bombs because we got to go for the biggest shit possible. So these people are igniting crazy shit. You remember the LA Dodgers? The guy that blew off his hand? These people in California, their team won. And they took to the streets, burning shit, attacking people, taking over a bus or something. You would have thought they lost. And some young guy, he wasn't a kid, some young guy takes a firecracker that looks like a bomb or something. I don't know what the hell that shit was. Barely had a fuse on it. That shit was like this. And this guy sits there and lights it up. and the thing blows off his hand. I mean, it was on video. He had no fingers left, bleeding. And I'm wondering, like, what's going on through some of these people's minds? You know?
Our children. I went and talked to the people on the street. They're scared beyond belief about what could have happened. The way the blast went, it blasted outward like this. And it took the houses in front of it and the cars in front of it. The houses on the sides, amazingly, didn't feel the brunt of this explosion. Could have been the whole block if we were even less lucky. So, look, we are doing a few things. We've been intercepting and seizing thousands and thousands of pounds of fireworks, but still not enough. The task force intercepted 187,000 pounds of illegal fireworks in 23, more than 40,000 pounds in 2024. Tons of shipments have been diverted.
Okay, let's check it out. So there was drone video of this deadly firework explosion. Okay, this is New Year's Eve because we got to go all out. These people got to blow up the neighborhood and shit. That's why you can't go out to these events anymore. Check this out. Drone footage. There's no audio apparently. Wow. I guess that's it right there. Holy crap. Wow. I mean, that does look pretty, but like, look at this shit right here at the bottom here. All this fire and stuff going on. What? Looks like something caught on fire right there. It was catching on fire. Damn, bro, you just had to run. You like that shit, you just gotta run and don't stop. Oh my God. Still going too. Bro, it's just crazy.
Thank you, Governor. Jim Ireland from the Honolulu Emergency Services Department.
It does look almost similar to the fire.
I just want to go through briefly what happened with this incident from the EMS perspective. We were going through a fairly ordinary night up until that point. We did have 2 or 3 significant firework injuries where people had lost parts of their hand. I think one very critical injury, some traffic accidents, a few people hit by cars, but nothing really out of the ordinary for a New Year's Eve. 12:01 happened, and our communications center received 2 911 calls, and sounded a little ominous at first because one of the calls reported four victims. So 4 victims is a little unusual.
Okay, so we'll keep it moving as far as updates. So that was the Hawaii thing, separate, but just kind of the insanity that ensued from last night to today, I guess. So we talked about the Airbnb that had bomb explosives inside of that place. I guess that's where the fire came from. We know that this guy had issues. Some of the information that's come out, he was married twice to Nakidra Jabbar and Shaneen Jabbar. And the first divorce was finalized in 2013. His gross monthly income, I guess, resources were about $3,990, and he was ordered to pay $660 in child support. I don't know if he became unhinged then, And then Nakidra Jabbar was granted majority custody. That was the first wife. And the second wife, I think, this woman got a restraining order against his crazy ass. And the very little bit that we know from that, he was forbade from sending threatening and obscene messages to her or causing bodily injury to her or her child. So he must have threatened to kill them or hurt them before in the past. Now, the other thing, let me see what I have here. God, looking crazy. The other thing, okay, I was sent this, and this is Plunder. Lots of love to Plunder on YouTube. She covered that. Apparently, this guy, the person that rented the truck reacted to what happened today.
F-150 Lightning truck used in this horrible attack was apparently rented through this Turo app. It's a car-sharing company. I had never heard of it myself.
Yeah, this is my first time hearing about it today. And so it says that the Turo app car-sharing company, according to Rodrigo Diaz, the owner of the truck, Diaz told ABC News that he rented the truck to an individual through the app and is currently talking to the FBI. He declined to further comment. I wonder how much people make on that, like how much money people are making on this app. Because I wonder if over time, maybe it makes sense that maybe you can have one vehicle that you just rent out to people. I don't know if it's more of a pain in the ass dealing with that, random people taking your car. How much are you making out of that? Diaz's wife, Dora Diaz, told ABC News that she and her husband are devastated by the incident. My husband rents cars through the Turo app. I can't tell you anything else. I'm here with my kids, and this is devastating. Okay. So just a little bit of commentary, I guess. And we talked about this earlier today, the Lightning truck, an electric vehicle that's actually very, very powerful. 0 to 60, and I think they said, how many seconds was it? I don't remember. 0 to 60, and I don't know if it was like 4 seconds or something. Nice looking vehicle. Yeah, 4 seconds, 0 to 60. And 106 miles in 12.7 seconds. Powerful truck, electric truck. That's the vehicle this person used. And positive reviews.
Rigo likely had no idea what this person, whomever rented the car, would do with it. The only kind of negative review was this person saying she didn't enjoy her experience with the electric truck. I couldn't even get a full charge when I needed it. It was stuck at 90%. If you're planning a long road trip, this is definitely not the rental for you. Had to make 3 stops, more than 3 stops, just to reach her destination. Charging systems were a headache. Rodrigo says, sounds like...
I wonder how long those vehicles take to charge. I don't think I could deal with that. Like having to sit there for like... I'm already impatient putting gas in the car. You know, I can't imagine having to charge the thing and sit there and wait, especially if you're doing a road trip.
You need to stick to a gas vehicle. You're upset with the charging platform. The truck is amazing. So this...
Oh, he snapped back. Sounds like you need to stick to a gas vehicle. You're upset with the charging platform. The truck is amazing.
Person just really didn't like charging.
I mean, yeah, it's not this guy's fault. That's what it is. It's an electric vehicle. That's what's advertised. You got what's advertised. You know?
Lightning was a very smooth driving truck.
Okay. All right, let me check for other updates and stuff on this guy. I'm wondering if they're going to release the videos this guy posted. The killer. They're saying this guy made a couple of videos before the incident. Let's see what else they're posting here. Insane video of shooting that occurred in Chinatown last night. Shit. Oh man, I can't even show that. Las Vegas news. All right, let me see anything else on this dude. Shamsud. Can't imagine this guy's family. Like, holy shit, this guy was planning on killing us. What the?
Can you take Kaiser, Kukini, etc. So they touched base with every hospital on Oahu simultaneously while our teams were doing the triage and now starting the transport. Now the other issue at this scene was these roads now were filled with police cars, supervisors, fire trucks, personnel, victims, and we just could not get the ambulances up into that scene. They would have gotten trapped.
Chinatown. So Deborah tagged me and said it was Vegas. I didn't even know. Well, I guess everywhere maybe has some type of Chinatown. Las Vegas, Chinatown. Yeah, Las Vegas has a Chinatown. Superdome, Canal Street, truck plows to the crowd, Bourbon Street. Wow. Pretty crazy pictures here. lanes. Truck plows into crowd. Corbin Street, Canal Street, Superdome. What a way to start the new year.
Seemed to know what to do, and that made it run so much more smoothly. Police knew what to do, fire knew what to do, EMS knew what to do, and we all worked very well together. You know, police immediately shut off Salt Lake Boulevard for us so we could stack up 6 or 8 ambulances and block roads and keep our paramedics safe from that. So from that point, it was determined initially that there were 2 people within the scene who were deceased, who we weren't able to save. And, you know, that's heartbreaking for us. But of the 21, we initially reported 20, but it was actually 20.
Oh, I guess Elon is backing up what they said in this presser, that because of the vehicle structure of the Cybertruck, he just posted this a couple minutes ago. The evil knuckleheads picked the wrong vehicle for a terrorist attack. Cybertruck actually contained the explosion that directed the blast upwards. Not even the glass doors of the lobby were broken.
They are just a vehicle fire. And so there's going to be a drone video that plays to my left again. You'll see as the fire initially, they covered it with the tarp to try to get it to go out. Once the fire went out through the suppression efforts of the fire department, you'll see some of the evidence in the back of the vehicle. So those are gasoline canisters. They are camp fuel canisters and large firework mortars.
Wow.
What I also would like you to pay attention to on that video, as you see that, it looks like the exterior of that truck is completely intact as it sits there. The fact that this was a Cybertruck really limited the damage that occurred inside of the valet, because it had most of the blast go up through the truck and out. In fact, if you look on that video, you'll see that the front glass doors at the Trump hotel were not even broken by that blast, which they were parked directly in front of. You can see that in the video there.
So whoever this was an idiot, blew himself up in the truck in a self-contained manner that it only really affected him, and for some reason he decided, let's put fireworks in here, bring in the new year and shit with fireworks, a bunch of fireworks in the vehicle. All right, you know, it's like I don't understand it, I don't get it, but okay.
Blood shortage, the people who don't even know the victims, who just opened their hearts and literally opened their blood vessels to share a pint of blood to help this critically low blood supply in our area. So people are just overwhelmed with gratitude, and doctors saying thank you, because it makes their work, their job different going forward with this. So that's the latest update we have from UMC here. Reporting live from UMC, Meg Farris, WWL Louisiana. Back to you, Devin and Katie.
Oh man, our heart is with all the people in UMC and all the different hospitals all over
Really?
the city of New Orleans right now who are still trying to recover from their injuries, and of course the families of those who will not be recovering and did not make it out.
Sure, and the families of people who are in the hospital who maybe are not from New Orleans, don't have a support system here, are staying in hotels at this time. I know it's a really difficult day for many, many
Cybertrucks are terrible. Firefighters and EMS hate them. You can't save people stuck in them.
Normally it would open
Really?
back up. Today, of course, a federal and city and state holiday because it is New Year's Day. And so it makes you wonder if that timing is intentional on the part of this suspect, because it creates a delayed law enforcement response. So you don't have as
Tesla Cybertruck owner in Canada says the truck is dangerous after experiencing first drive in snow, forced to slow down to 25 miles per hour on the highway and stop multiple times to clean the headlights.
Staying in hotel rooms. We know that Georgia's football team is currently in their hotel, and they are kind of locked down in there for safety reasons while all of this plays out. So you've got a lot of people that are kind of stuck in their rooms tonight, just
Damage report reveals dangerous Tesla Cybertruck flaws as test drivers say getting behind the wheel was the most stressful experience ever. What the? The review confirms much of what people on social media have been complaining about since the Cybertruck was first delivered in November 2023, including poor visibility and how its stainless steel exterior appeared to rust out when in the elements. Okay. So there's a lot of different reports about the Cybertruck.
Estate entrepreneur in the Houston area since then. Now, he was the IT chief for the 82nd Airborne Division's 1st Brigade Combat Team. That's just a little bit, another nugget of detail about his past and his history with the U.S. government.
When we heard from the FBI earlier this afternoon around 1:30, they had said that they would be looking more closely into his military service, and so we are learning more about it now. This is another photo of him. This is Jabbar's passport photo. If you have seen this man around New Orleans, if you've had any interactions with him, seen him driving around, if you know anything at all, no matter how small it might seem, you should call the FBI and leave a tip. That number is 1-800-CALL-FBI, and the website is there as well, tips.fbi.gov. They're looking for anything that they can to kind of piece together his timeline in New Orleans, how long he was here, when he arrived, and we know that there are
Doors lock on impact.
thousands of hours of video to look through to try and figure out when he got here and what he did when he was in New Orleans.
Yes, they're really trying to piece together a timeline. We heard that from investigative reporter Mike Perlstein a while ago as he had talked to his police sources. Now, when the FBI issued this photo and released it because they want people out there to give them more information and to call in tips to them, this is his passport photo. They're trying to get a more updated current photo of what he looks like right now. I think there are some questions about that. Now, as we mentioned, the previous photo that we showed you was from a social media post from, was that 2013? I believe.
A long time ago, yes.
Yeah, it was from a while ago.
Breaking. Family reveals Shamsud-Din Jabbar's descent into radicalization before the New Orleans attack. The terrorist responsible for the New Orleans attack showed clear signs of mental instability after converting to Islam, according to his family member. Dwayne Marsh, husband of Jabbar's ex-wife, revealed that the former Army vet became erratic, even cutting his hair and distancing himself from his family. Marsh shared that Jabbar's behavior spiraled out of control, forcing family members to limit his contact with his 2 daughters. His ex-wife's daughters, ages 15 and 20, are said to be a mess in the wake of the attack, struggling to understand his descent into violence. The family's revelations offer a disturbing window into the terror suspect's troubled mental state leading up to the deadly attack as authorities continue to probe his radicalization and terrorist connections. Wow. Thanks, Jordan.
Like I've mentioned earlier, investigators are still out here. Much of the corridor is still blocked off. But I actually, that's what I want to talk about is the law enforcement out here. They have been out here all day long, many of them running on just a few hours of sleep. Now, they both told me not to brag because
he cut his head. I knew something was off.
But it is such an important job, putting their lives on the line every day. So we are so appreciative to our law enforcement that have been out here, like I said, running on just a little bit of sleep. I mentioned last time we talked that they were not letting anyone down this block, even people that lived here, people that were staying in Airbnbs. They now are letting people go down if they can prove that they live here, if they can prove that they have an Airbnb, again, just to go get essentials. So it's not like this street is open to foot traffic and you have to prove that you do have a place here, and that's why you need to get down the street. They still have much of the area back there taped off. Now, anyone that lives in.
So this guy posted on D-Day True. The guy that I was talking about, the Dodgers fan that blew off his hand. I guess they have this video. Dodgers fan who blew up his hand with a firework during World Series celebration gets reconstructive surgery. So, holy crap. That's the first time I'm seeing that, the aftermath. Just a PSA and a warning for safety if you have kids or people messing around with these fireworks. Oh my God.
year. We'll be out here for the next few hours, keeping an eye on the scene. If anything does start to change, we will keep you guys updated. Back to you.
All right, Amelia, thank you so much. You know, it's been difficult for people who are trying to navigate that area. You know, parts of the court.
Lisa also confirming the whole Cybertruck thing. Says a firefighter told me it's very difficult for them to get into Cybertrucks. It took sometimes up to 20 minutes in testing exercise. Wow. So you get trapped inside of that thing. It's a death box. Potentially.
Locked down in for a
Yeah,
while,
might be getting out for a little bit.
Apparently we saw them getting on a bus and taken somewhere else. So it's unclear where they were headed. They could have been doing run-throughs at the Superdome or going to the St.
And they were also saying the Associated Press investigators have reviewed video of 3 men and a woman placing explosives in connection with the deadly car attack in New Orleans, French Quarter. The FBI said it does not believe the driver acted alone. So there's multiple people. They need to catch these people potentially involved in what end the attack.
For them as well. And earlier, whenever they were asked when Bourbon Street might reopen or what happens tonight if everybody who's in town for the Sugar Bowl wants to get out of their hotel for a little bit, they said Bourbon Street is going to stay locked down and closed until the FBI is ready to release it.
Yes.
And we saw from the background of Amelia's live shot there that they are still working back there. It might be a while.
Yeah, it could be a while. I mean, I know one elected official said up to 48 hours before they would have that area reopened. So just to make plans accordingly. Now, there are, of course, other parts of the city where people can get out and get something to eat.
Yeah.
And, you know, the CBD is one area, Warehouse District, Uptown, many places that, you know, are sort of in that tourist corridor. But it is difficult. And this is a very, you know, delicate situation with all federal investigators and just the huge law enforcement presence that is downtown. Now, in addition, the media have grown out on Canal Street. I'm seeing pictures on Twitter and X, Facebook, other places where, you know, the international press have descended on the city of New Orleans because of this terrorist incident. And so the interest in it is just going to continue to grow.
We have been getting emails all day long from all around the world, from media outlets, from everywhere, asking us for information or for interviews, things like that. And I think part of the interest is that we just saw something very similar to this happen on December 20th in Germany with the Christmas market, where there were 5 people killed and many, many injured. So this is, it was of interest, I think, to a lot of our friends in Europe who are looking at us and seeing us with a similar heartache.
Well, I think, yes, absolutely. And I think there are also national security implications here. You have, you know, a situation where ISIS has been flaring again in Syria. There have been the toppling of a dictator there. You know, there are definitely world events that could really be affected by what happens related to this situation. So, you know, we heard Congressman Steve Scalise touching on that just a little bit, talking about how, you know, all eyes are on what happens here.
Okay. I think that's all the updates for now regarding this. I'm taking a look more to see if anything else is popping. The first victim of the New Orleans attack has been identified as 18-year-old Nikira Baydox. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Nikira was due to start a nursing program in Blue Cliff College on January 13. She came to New Orleans to celebrate the new year. According to B&O News Live, this is one of the victims. 18-year-old. Wow. Young. Very young. All right, I guess that's it for now. What a crazy ass day. So much happening, man.
Harris County Sheriff's Office SWAT vehicles and multiple Sheriff's Office investigators at the home. They had secured the perimeter. They were asking people to avoid the area, and excuse me. were,
they're trying
talking to some neighbors.
Absolutely, talking to some neighbors out there. And then we also heard that there may be a second scene in Houston at his ex-wife's house with her new husband. So you would think that they were scouring it for any information. It was a SWAT situation, which tells you that it's some sort of standoff with people inside. So whether or not some of those people have been brought out of that property or not, we don't know.
One of the victims was a college
we haven't been
football
able
player?
to confirm that through our station in Houston at this point.
Yeah, we're working to find out some more from them. They also have talked a little bit about more in Houston about his personal life. They know that in January of 2022, excuse me, that Jabbar was behind on house payments. He wanted to quickly finalize a divorce. So
Behind on house payments too.
that Jabbar was behind on house payments. He wanted to quickly finalize a divorce. So there were some personal issues there. His business was Blue Meadow Properties LLC. So he was in real estate, which we know. So there's a lot of reporting happening in Houston as well.
Yes, and well, we do know now that the house in the 1300 block of Mandeville that was raided by police, that is the Airbnb that he was staying in. We've confirmed that through sources, and we've been reporting that, but it was raided it is the suspected rental that was used by Jabbar. Authorities have confiscated some things there, suspected explosives and bomb-making material. That makes sense given that we've seen such a huge ATF presence there. In addition to that, there was a fire at that location. See, there's an ATF PIO at the scene who was there earlier today. Huge numbers of federal investigators out at that scene, many of them obviously wearing vests and protective gear. But there was a fire at that Airbnb that started about 2 hours after the initial terrorist incident. They started to see smoke, and investigators went in to see what happened. Now, we don't know if that was an intentionally set fire or what the nature of that situation was at that house on Mandeville Street. But this is in the St. Roch neighborhood, and for those who don't know the geography of New Orleans, who maybe are watching us on WWL Plus or on digital, that St. Roch neighborhood is just right on the other side of the French Quarter. It is very close to where this attack was carried out. So
yeah, I mapped it out, and driving wise, it's about 1.7 miles from the scene of the horrible crime to where this home is, which is pretty close, all things considered. And there are a lot of cameras on that.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see what comes of this and if more arrests are made. Really weird situation. I don't know if this guy lost his mind with the divorce and the money falling behind. And they were claiming he had plans to just wipe his whole family out, but instead joined ISIS and attacked random people and killed random people. And this is going to be interesting. They need to catch these people and the people in their network. Investigators have reviewed a video of 3 men and a woman placing explosives in the probe of New Orleans attack. So 4 people. So it's not just one person. They need to find these people and find their little network or whatever and arrest these people, infiltrate, lock them all up. Crazy. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I'm going to get off. If something breaking pops off tonight, I'll jump back on. But, wow, been a long day. I definitely didn't expect to start the day out like this. It's insanity. Or even the new year, start the new year out like this. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
So, what are you seeing? What can you tell us?
Yeah, again, I think we're pretty much in the same situation here, just a heavy police presence that continues to be out here blocking off Bourbon Street at the canal entrance. I am joined here now with District Attorney Jason Williams. General reaction to just the last.
You guys take it easy. Be safe. All right. Love you. Bye. Take care. Bloop, 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 bloop.